I guess
We're live.
Does it make more sense to look in the camera or to look into the...
I think it makes sense to look into the camera, but also talk to each other.
Right.
We're inside. We're inside now. It's raining outside.
I'm pointing at the TV. Now I'm pointing at the computer.
Right.
Welcome to WURSTCAST.
Wow, look at all those people jumping in right away. Slow down in the chat. Give us time. I'm just kidding. No one's watching.
How do we know when someone's watching?
I guess maybe one person is watching. But that might mean it's
us.
I think it's us.
I think it's us, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they can watch it after we record it, too.
Yeah,
right?
it's just...
So
I figure since no one watches, I'd say the step of uploading and editing and just put it up directly.
Yeah. So, I mean, this will be on the internet for eternity.
Yeah, until they take down the internet. If you're watching
this in the year 3000, this is probably an interesting time capsule you're about to witness.
Man, this whole era of history is just not going to exist. It's just going to get deleted, and no one's going to care.
Humans are going to go extinct probably before the year 3000.
No one's ever going to know. All right, Mike, tell us, who are we? What's going on here?
We are WURSTCAST. My name is Michael. Michael Diamond. No, I can't be Michael Diamond. I haven't figured out my nickname yet.
I like Michael Diamond. That's actually pretty solid.
Isn't that like the Beastie Boys guy though?
No, is it Diamond?
I think that's like maybe that's like his alias or something. I don't know.
Okay,
this guy. Okay, well, I would like to say this is Andrew. I don't know if you want to say your last name or.
I only go by the last name. I didn't want to say the first name.
Oh,
but that's okay.
We're
already
Mazer Beam. I call him Mazer Beam.
This is the Brewers. Your favorite. This is the best Brewers podcast that nobody watches.
Yeah.
We're going to talk Brewers today. We're going to talk Bucks as well. Probably more Bucks.
Yeah.
And we have some trivia.
Oh, do we? Okay.
And we're gonna sing the song at the end because we're back to someone texted me and complaining that we didn't sing the song at the beginning. If you want to hear the song, you got to wait till the end.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a good incentive.
Right. I just wish we could get past the point of people commenting on the show directly to me on my phone because they know me and get back to people on the internet I don't know commenting.
Yeah.
But because we're not famous anymore.
Well, I would like to start out the show by saying that there was a big milestone for me yesterday. I went back to my favorite bar for the first time in over a year.
Stuff's reopening. Crystal Corner.
And that's where the gentleman who called me Michael Diamond resides. I've literally never been to that bar and not seen this gentleman.
Shout out to I think of course he was there day one. Shout out to the Crystal reopening.
Yeah, his name is AJ, but not our friend AJ, different AJ.
Shout out to our favorite bartender in town, Tina. We used to tape our show at the Crystal in the old days.
Yeah.
Tina was on our first episode.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She said go. She walked by and yelled "Go Cubs."
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That is a deep cut. That episode I don't think is even online anymore. Anyway, Crystal's open. We're going to talk a little. Brewers are still kind of in a skid, but at least they're not getting swept in games. A lot of hard hit outs. They lost 2 to the Cardinals, lost again to the Braves.
Yeah, they can still win the Braves series if they win the next 2.
Lots of great pitching, but just no clutch hitting. Lots of guys left on base. Scoring position. I
mean, it's really boring to watch them. Like every inning goes by with no runs.
Or just like every game being like, yep, here we go. It's 0-0 in the 5th. And
yeah, it's just not really fun to watch anymore.
Williams actually finally gave up. He finally blew a game when we were ahead going into the 7th.
Yeah.
But it was 1 run. And then he came back strong the next night. So bullpen's still good. I mean, like when Rasmussen comes in, Boxberger has been good. He got blown up against
he's had a couple
against the Cardinals, but
he's given up a few runs.
But the Cardinals have been 2 hit until the 12th when they blew up against.
I mean, the Cardinals are a very good hitting team this year.
Cardinals are going
surprised about now their pitching.
Yeah,
is getting better too, I guess. So.
Cardinals are going to probably win the division. Like you said,
it's a long season, but if the Brewers don't get some hitting going, then yes, I think that's going to happen.
Should we do what are you drinking before we dive into it?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I'm drinking Untitled Art Ultralight.
Does that mean it's low in calories?
It's low in calories, and it's low in alcohol.
Oh.
Which is mainly why I'm drinking it.
What percentage?
4.2.
Okay.
That is in Waunakee, Wisconsin. Wanakee, right outside of Madison.
Okay, I'm drinking
Oh,
one from Wisconsin. I've never seen this one.
No, McFleischmann's?
Fleischmann's.
Never heard of it.
McFleischmann's Ultim. I think that says Ultim. It's from Appleton, Wisconsin. It says Brute IPA.
What's the brute mean? I guess it means unrefined.
It says Ultima, our frontier exploring IPA, like the recently discovered trans-Neptunian object it was named after. I don't know what that is referring to.
I think Ultim, I think it's similar to Umau, which are these giant, they're like asteroids, but they have these giant orbits. And some like legit scientists are saying it's certainly theoretically possible, if not like as probable as anything, that they're they can't figure out how they move so far because they don't have an ice trail. So they think that they might be literally some kind of alien technology in the form of like a solar propelled rock that something sent a long time ago from way far away. Because they don't know. They're like, we're not saying that's true, but
some civilization put something on a rock
to send it super far for some reason.
Because it's like, why build a spaceship when you can just attach to a rock?
Right. Or why assume that because we build shit out of metal and stuff and have these alloys here, that other technology would be similar, would be like microchips and similar shit. It would be like, could be rocks and solar. They could be harnessing the sun as opposed to like all of our shit's based on combustion, right? And then up into the, I don't know. And the point is, it could totally be a rock.
Yeah. What? Umau?
Umau. Yeah.
Umau?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
It's a Hawaiian word that means like voyager or searcher.
No.
Scout. I think it means scout.
Umau.
And it was discovered by a Hawaiian, in a Hawaiian observatory.
And where did you learn about this?
I watch a lot of YouTube. Watch a lot. COVID. I learned a lot about a lot of random shit during
because
COVID.
you knew the pronunciation. If I would have read that, I mean, God knows how it's spelled. I would have been like, how the fuck is that pronounced?
Right.
But you knew the pronunciation straight away.
Yeah, when all this, like when the new one showed up, I was like, I know all about this shit. I know all about alien technology rocks.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably.
I mean, it's also super likely that we just don't understand. Like it's just a rock, but we don't know. It's something happened and we don't know why it's going like this because we're at the limits of our understanding.
All right. Well, I'm going to read into it.
Wow, this is a great way to start a Brewers podcast.
Space
rocks.
Yeah, because that's how boring the fucking Brewers games are these days.
Yeah, they are.
Jesus
They're always
Christ.
heroes. I mean, they're dual, but I think it's league wide though, isn't there? Just a ton of pitcher duels right now.
Yeah,
a lot of no hitters,
Which
a lot
is really
of single digit
funny.
hitters.
I mean, the whole point was to make the game more interesting.
Right, to bring back small ball.
Clearly failed at that.
They clearly failed at it, and I think
the game is more boring now than it's ever been.
The worst thing they did was lie about changing the baseballs and make it super sketchy.
Well, they did say they were deadening the ball this year.
Now they said it, but they
said it before the year started.
Sure. But I mean, they had already changed them the last couple of years because all the players were saying that. And the baseball would refuse to fucking own up to it. And then some outside company tested them and they were like, they're different. They're different. They need to not do that. They need to just like leave the game alone for a little bit. It's been through a hard year. Let it breathe.
All these fucking purists who want to like make the game more interesting and they're like worried about the direction the game is going. I feel like those are the people that are making the game worse.
That's an excellent point. And it comes down to when dictionaries were getting big, there was this argument between prescriptive and descriptive. Like, should dictionaries eliminate words that people shouldn't say and kind of get people speaking in a more like streamlined, smart way, or should dictionaries write down everything that every iteration of how people actually speak? And in their pure form, they're both wrong because they've tried it. And like I don't know, I forget when all this was happening. I read this all in Bill Bryson's book, Mother Tongue. He talks about the history of the English language, but 100, 200 years ago.
I'm reading a Bill Bryson book about space
that I gave you.
Yes, right.
Anyway,
that guy is a smart man.
He knows a lot.
He knows a lot about a lot.
Knows a lot of shit. Anyway, help me out. What am I talking about?
We're talking about dictionaries and whether they're
prescriptive and descriptive. So, if you have
predictive or prescriptive?
Prescriptive versus descriptive.
Oh, I thought you meant predictive.
No, like
you're predicting what will be a word.
They're trying to prescribe what should be a word.
Oh.
They're prescribing how people ought to speak. versus describing how they speak.
Right.
But you need it in the middle because when you have
obviously it's not their place to tell us how to speak.
No, but when they try descriptive ones, you get way too because people use words and they go in and out of fashion really fast. And you can't just put fucking everything in there that people speak because every single word can be used in it pretty much in a different way.
Yeah.
Or like, and if you're gonna be like, well, people in this one fucking town in like Virginia speak this way, does it need to be in the dictionary? Like, it's a lot. It's a big dictionary. Anyway, so it's
many words that we say that are not in the dictionary.
The exact same with baseball, and always has been. Baseball, there's always been purists in baseball that want the game to be a certain way, and then there's the conservatives are the ones who oddly are like, leave it alone, you know?
Yeah.
And it kind of has to be in the middle.
They should just go back to making dictionaries or something.
You like that out there, or one viewer that we think it's just us?
Yeah, that's we still just have one viewer, which we think are ourselves.
I think it's us. Yeah, we are watching it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's the issue right now, and I don't.
Boring as
well,
fuck.
And who gets to make these fucking decisions? And also, it's bad to be like, here's what the fans want. Like,
it's Manfred, isn't it?
Yeah, he's Manfred-splaining.
Nice.
He's manscribing.
Yeah.
We want a descriptive MLB, not a man-scripted MLB. That should have been the title of this. I'm going to retitle this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manfred sucks. And
he should be more of a Fred and less of a man.
Selig left it alone, but that's why all the steroid stuff happened, because he was just like, I don't see anything.
Yeah, but that's more about enforcement. It's not about changing the rules.
Yes, absolutely. What they really should just be doing is enforcing what's legal for players and coaches to do, like, obviously, no fucking electronic signaling, no banging on trash cans, no fucking juicing, no like crazy weird test products from weird shady Tampa Bay labs. Like, just enforce that shit so players don't try to get an edge that way, and they just train and they start their baseball IQ goes up and they focus on everything from spin rate to launch angle. Then the game itself just sort of re-quantifies. But if you're getting in there and you're fucking with the strike zone, fucking with the mound, fucking with the ball.
Yeah, I think so. Like, baseball was fun in 2018 and 2019, I thought.
It was good.
Everyone was complaining, oh, there's too many home runs and not enough singles and doubles.
Right.
But it's like, there's still crazy shit that happens in baseball all the time. People want to see home runs.
Every stadium
there's a few less doubles. Who gives a shit?
And like, now we're seeing, like, I complained that I was worried about it then too. I'm not gonna lie. I like small ball.
I probably had. We all like small ball.
But now we just don't have.
But they tried to fix that problem and they didn't fix it.
They eliminated homers. They eliminated homers. What they did. And everyone's just chopping at stuff. There shouldn't be this many no hitters, and there shouldn't be this many 2-3. Every Brewers series, there's like 2-3 hit games.
Every team has multiple starters, like with a below 3 ERA.
Yeah, it's wild.
Crazy.
It's wild. And a lot of that is spin rate. They're getting their spin rate.
And we talked about it on previous shows about the pine tar. And that is something that I understand because the hitters don't want to get hit by it because they're throwing faster than they used to. So they don't want to get hit
baseball
by the ball.
Should just in general never do anything to help the pitcher because it's always going to the game itself helps the pitcher.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they're talking about moving the mound back, maybe.
Sure.
Is that going to be another overcorrection that'll just fuck up something else?
I think they should leave it alone for a little bit. But maybe I would be nice to go back to the old ball. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of fucked now. But here's the other thing. I'm a baseball conservative, as you called me out. But the game just changes all the time, and it changes because of outside stuff all the time.
Totally.
So I do have some legit trivia for you, but I'm just going to throw out a quick one here.
I love trivia. It's my favorite thing.
This is early trivia. It's historical trivia.
Oh. I'm not going to be very good at it, but
the listeners, they like the history stuff. On the show.
They do.
So
one of the listeners that commented. Shout out to who was it? Sam UL.
That's right.
Yeah.
Likes the history stuff. This is for him. So the DH debate goes all the way back to like 1901. They were trying to have a DH. So it's not like you can't say the DH is a new.
When did the DH start?
DH started in the 40s.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know enough about this. I'm going to save the story for next time. I got a better version of it. We're not going to do it.
Okay. Psych out.
Psych.
That's just, that's your preparation to study what we're talking about for next time.
Exactly.
Look into it. History of the DH.
Yeah. We should get prizes to give away, but We tried giving away prizes on the show, and people got it. And then I asked them for their address to send it, and they were like, "None of us are giving you our address."
They don't trust us.
No.
Unbelievable.
I know. All right. So let's just go over injuries in quick. I mean, it looks like Kane is heating back up.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about him.
It's hard to know who's heating up because
they can't get enough runs for it to matter.
Yeah.
They always get stopped.
I mean, Avi Garcia is definitely playing well.
Easily about one of the hottest players in baseball. And we were both quite down on him in the early episodes.
We got Narvaez back, so that could help.
I do want to back to Avi. He's hitting 500, I think, in May, which is amazing.
Yeah, May is still how many days old?
15.
15. He's hitting 500, and really? I don't know about that. I believe you.
Okay. It was 15 going into yesterday, and he hit yesterday. I don't know if he went one. Might have just gone one for yesterday, but he definitely had a hit.
Yeah.
He had an RB, I believe. He had a hit, and then he scored a run. So, anyway, he changed his whole body. He's been in the majors a while. He changed his whole stance, and then also his workout regimen and his weight training in the offseason. He looks like a different guy, and it looked like it didn't work. Like he focused on the wrong things, but now it looks like it's kind of coming together, and I could see him putting together really good May and June.
Yeah, well, I would fucking hope so because he's our goddamn cleanup hitter now because we suck at hitting.
Right.
So he better be good.
Right.
Otherwise, we're completely fucked.
I would like to see. I honestly think it might be time to bench JBJ.
Yeah, well, if you got a right-handed starter and they like to have the lefty, he's the only left-handed. Him and McKinney. And
I was thinking he's swapping.
McKinney's gotten pretty cold, hasn't he?
McKinney's really gotten cold, and he really has.
It's like you have these guys playing bad, but their replacements aren't playing well either.
Aren't great either. I know.
Taylor's gone back down to earth, but he still might be the best hitting outfielder.
I have faith in Taylor.
Yeah, I like Taylor still. I think that he just needs to get maybe some more consistent at bats. Yeah.
Guys like Taylor are interesting to me because he just went straight from high school to single A ball.
Did he?
He's pure. Yeah, he's pure Brewer. Brewers drafted him in high school.
He was the one who got a job at FedEx, wasn't he? Like in the middle of
That's right.
I think something.
That sounds right.
He had quit FedEx because he got called up. Majors.
He had to quit FedEx because he got called up. Yeah, and I don't know. He's shown some real.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Real spark.
Yeah, he was incredible. Hitting ball. I mean, he was hitting balls up around his shoulders out of the ballpark. It was impressive, bat speed.
Right.
He can catch up. He can turn around the inside pitches.
But he's not that free swinging either. He takes a lot of walks.
He might not have the best opposite field approach, but he can definitely turn on a ball. And, pull
right.
it.
Right. And like you said, he can hit up high too. I mean, he's a tall guy, and he seems to have a pretty wide zone of what he can hit. So, because it seems like rising stuff, like spin rates rising, and then high heat. I feel like I'm seeing more this season.
Yeah. Keston Hiura played a game in AAA and went 2 for 4, and I think he had a home run or a double.
Okay.
Or maybe both even.
We'll see what happens with that. But
yeah, I mean, we need him.
Vogelbach, we need him back in.
Vogelbach's not been impressive.
He's been fine though. He's been better than.
Could be worse.
He's been better than Hiura was.
Yeah, it's impossible not to be. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
Hiura was historically bad to start the year.
I'm starting to feel about JBJ really similar to. I remember when Rookie Weeks, his last couple years of the Brewer. I was watching Brewers play at the Caribou, shout out Caribou Bar, and he hit. It was he was the second. It was 2 outs, and he hit a pop up, and it was an out. They had Brewers, and it was a rally killer, in a tight game. Yeah. Brewers had a couple guys on, down by a couple, and this gal at the bar is like, third out, Ricky, always the third out.
Yeah.
And then the next at bat, he hits it with. I remember he came up and he only had 1 out, and I was like, all right. And then he hit into a double play, and I was like, she was third out, Ricky.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel a way about JBJ. He's just he looks terrible at the plate. He swings at shit. He gets totally baffled by the stuff. Then they can jam him when they get on the chase. He gets behind in the count and in bad situations.
Yeah.
He's never in a hitter's count. He's starting to kind of be a threat to walk a little bit.
Since he's historically been a average hitter, you kind of just have to let it ride out, I think.
It looks like he's changed. They've talked to him though because he's taking a lot more pitches. He was swinging at whatever. It looks like they talked to him and said you needed to stand there.
Yeah, another strange thing about changing your approach at the plate, Luis Arias started out the year he's just walking, had a terrible average, but a very, very high OPS.
I know.
percentage, and now
And they
he's
just
not
start-
walking anymore. He had a home run yesterday.
Yeah, and he's still a threat to hit, and he can hit for power. He can hit for singles.
Yeah.
I really
I
like.
still don't
Urias.
know if he's better than Garcia.
I feel strongly that he is.
Okay, good.
That was kind of like a long hit it or quit it. Just pretty good. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I got some baseball odds and ends,
Okay.
or we could talk Bucks.
Let's do baseball odds and ends.
All right.
Yeah, stay on baseball, then go to basketball.
Right on. I just learned today it's Joe West's last season, 2021. I didn't realize that.
The umpire.
The umpire. What do you? Any thoughts on that?
He was a good umpire, right?
I don't know. People said he was an asshole too.
Really?
Well,
he's better than Angel Hernandez.
sure, but everybody is.
Yeah.
But I feel like West West got in trouble for like on the subject of like people trying to change the game and like it's too many strikeouts and home runs. It was Brewers, some New York Red Sox postseason, he called the game and then he publicly went on the radio in New York and was like, that was the most boring season and like baseball's getting really boring and they have to do something about it. And this and this and this.
What year?
I don't know, like 6 years ago or something.
Okay.
Like
what did he say was boring about it?
that everyone's hitting. There's all strikeouts and the game's slow and there's no base runners and there's no singles and there's no extra base hits. And,
Yeah.
like, and it's just sort of like not his place. And then everyone on Mariano Rivera. It's like if this was longer ago than 6 years. And Mariano Rivera was like, if he's bored, he can go home. Like we're working really hard. Like everyone was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
There's this guy, iTalk Studios. He's does baseball stuff. He did a good one on West and on Hernandez. So if you want to know more, go to watch his video.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to think about umpires. John Boy had a thing about
a really good one.
an relatively unknown younger ump who's had like a 99%
And that's right.
ball strike.
What
rate.
blew me away about that video more was how bad everyone else's was when you see actually see the stats because there is an umpire like organization that checks it and there is an umpire of the year and there's an umpire Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but no one talks about it in the media.
I know no one talks about it.
It's cool that John Boy mentioned it because they do need to get some
Right.
fucking respect. I mean, they need to fucking
Sure.
they need to get good umpires need to
Right.
be known as good umpires.
I think they're going about the robot ump thing like instead of trying to just like they should just promote better umpiring and like get rid of bad umps, like get rid of Hernandez. West is going to retire. I think that's a really good
but they
thing.
can't get rid of Hernandez because of
Right,
the
they can't.
union or something.
It cannot.
Yeah.
West leaving is a good thing. Anytime some old person leaves an institution, it's probably good. I mean, he's been calling. I remember him calling games in the 70s. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 70s, but he's been calling games in the 70s. I remember him calling games as a kid in the 90s.
You were born in 1983.
Yes, I remember him calling games in the 90s. All right. Well, that was.
Well, maybe you were reincarnated from some, I don't know, Pete Rose.
Maybe he's not dead. Pete Rose is not dead. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Still alive.
But the Dalai Lama is not dead, and he's apparently already reincarnated.
Right, exactly. There've been many of them.
Okay, let's just do trivia.
Okay, trivia.
Trivia. This is Milwaukee Brewers and historical trivia.
Okay.
All right. This is Milwaukee Stadium history trivia.
Milwaukee. Not just any stadium in Milwaukee. Okay.
Yes, exactly. I have to find everything now. God, not feeling it today.
Yeah.
I'm not in this today.
I could maybe think of some trivia off the top of my head.
No, I have. It's good. I got good shit here.
Yeah.
Okay. Which team was not a pro team in Milwaukee in the 00s, meaning the 1900s? Which team was not a pro team in Milwaukee in the aughts? The Grays, the Cream Cities, the Whales, or the Brewers? Now let me give you a little bit of. Pro means they were paid to play baseball.
Yeah.
Because they were different leagues then, and the MLB was not how it is now. So they were different They were multiple professional leagues.
That independent leagues.
There was independent leagues, and there were leagues that became minor leagues for the big leagues, but at the time were equal technically.
Yeah.
They were or didn't play against each other, but the National League existed.
Right. So enough teams that I'm definitely going to be guessing.
I think one of these was actually a National League team.
Okay. Well, I'm going to obviously say the Whales because there aren't any whales in Wisconsin.
That's true. You were right. The Milwaukee Grays. were the original Milwaukee NL team. I think
The Grays. There was a Kansas City. Last time you told me that.
There was the Brewers are named after the original Brewers, and then there was the Cream Cities were another team in Milwaukee in a different league, and then the Whales. Okay, so question 2: where did the Whales play? Now here's a better version of that question. What current National League park, Major League Park, still played in, was built for the Whales? It's a bigger hint because the Whales are this is the 1900s team.
So it's an old stadium.
Right.
Very old stadium.
So it was not built for the team that's in it. It was built, in fact, for the Whales, who are a Federal League team, which was independent ball.
Jesus. There's not that many stadiums that are.
It's the only Federal League stadium that's still in existence.
So there's hardly any stadiums that even exist that are.
It should be huge.
Old, right?
Should be a huge. Yeah, you can narrow it down pretty easy, right? What do we got?
Wrigley, right? Fenway, Yankee Stadium's a different stadium now.
It is, right? And
Camden Yards. No,
they still play there. The Orioles, right?
Yeah, I don't know how old that stadium is though.
And then, well, the other one I was going to say is. It doesn't matter because it's not right. The Tigers have had an old stadium, but not anymore.
Comiskey, was it? No, that's the White Sox.
Yeah, which is also not there.
Right.
So you got a pretty good list there.
That's all 2 of them? Those are the 2.
There was a third one, but I forgot what it was. So you got a 50-50 chance.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that it's Fenway.
It is Wrigley.
Oh, they have the Whales?
The Whales.
The Chicago, I guess,
the Chicago Whales.
Wait, are there whales in Lake Michigan?
No, my guess was that aquarium there already?
Maybe.
The Shea Stadium? That's my only guess.
Shea Stadium.
Or Shea Aquarium.
Shed Aquarium.
Shed Aquarium. Yeah. They got whales there.
Real whales? Not real whales.
I think there's probably a whale at the... Or no, there's like
little... How the fuck do you have a whale at an aquarium?
Like those little whales. Those white ones. Those little white whales.
Like a pilot whale. Pilot whales are like the size
it could have been. A whale of a thing has been a term for a while. Maybe it was a bigger deal term 100 years ago. It was like, that's a whale of a hit. Or they're whale. I don't know. They whale on the ball. I don't know.
Yes, I know.
But they were out. They were referred to just as much, if not primarily, as the Chicago Feds or Federals. Because they were the only Federal League team that kind of kept going.
Okay.
So, and then when they finally left, the Cubs moved there from somewhere else.
Okay, that's a nice little bit of trivia.
Not bad.
The Chicago Whales. That's crazy.
Okay, I got more. County Stadium. So that earlier list, right? The Grays, the Cream Cities, and the Brewers. All 3 of those teams, Milwaukee professional teams, 100 years ago. Which of them was County Stadium built for?
The Grays or the
Cream Cities, or the Brewers.
Or the Brewers, County Stadium. Can you tell me what year County Stadium was built?
Yes, it was built in the late 50s, or the early 50s.
Early 50s. Well, probably not the Brewers then. Definitely not the Brewers then, right?
I'm not going to give you any hints anymore. I'm talking to you too much and helping too much.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm going to say the Cream Cities.
Not a bad guess, but an incorrect one. The Cream Cities. So the Cream Cities were the smallest of these teams. They didn't last that long. They didn't last into the 40s because their league disappeared.
No.
The Grays moved to St. Louis and became somebody else. I believe they turned into the Orioles at some point somehow. So I think they moved to St. Louis and became the Browns.
The correct answer is the Grays.
The correct answer is the Brewers because there was a team called the Brewers in the American Association.
Oh.
Now here's the quick history on it. The American Association was an independent league that was like roughly equal to the NL and the AL. When NL and the AL merged to become Major League Baseball, the American Association was incorporated as a minor league team, as a minor league, and that was the beginning of the farm system.
Okay.
So moves us on to the next question. So the Brewers as a Double-A team. Now,
so the Brewers were a minor league team before they were a major league team.
No, they were a major league team. Their major league became a minor league.
And then they didn't exist.
No, they kept existing, but then as a minor league team to what major league team? That team still exists, but is not in their original city anymore? Well, I can do this all again and do it better. This is great. This is really good trivia, so I wanted to make sure it's good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
County Stadium, right? That's where the Milwaukee Brewers played of our time, right? They're named after a major league team from 100 years ago, also called the Milwaukee Brewers. That team played through the American Association. At the same time, the National League was in existence and was equal to them and had the Grays in Milwaukee. Okay?
So there were 2 Milwaukee baseball teams.
Correct. In different leagues, but those leagues were equally major.
Yeah.
Now, National League got bigger and consumed the American Association and turned it into all those teams kept existing, but they were now the minor league teams, and those players were under contract for bigger teams. Okay. That's how the system came into existence.
So there was Milwaukee Grays.
The Grays
in the major leagues.
Yes, and but they moved to St. Louis and became the Browns, who then moved to Baltimore and became the Orioles.
Okay.
So the St. Louis Grays are now the Baltimore Orioles. They started in Milwaukee. Most people don't know that. Impress your friends at a Wisconsin bar, because that's true. Put that shit in the bank.
The Orioles started as Milwaukee.
Yep, Milwaukee Grays. Now, the Brewers became a AAA team for an NL team that still exists. That's still NL. If you think about my trivia on past episodes, I bring it back. That's a hint for you. I often bring it back to what's going on now. So that's a hint. And also, when you think about expansion, right, it usually starts in the Midwest or the East and moves to the West or the South, right? So this team started anyway and then moved to where it is now. Any guesses? What do you think?
So what's the question?
What major league team that still exists right now?
Yeah.
And has the same name, but it's in a different city. Was originally the Brewers' major league affiliate.
Major league affiliate.
Yeah, the Brewers were in a minor league team for this major league team when they were in a different city.
In a different city.
Yeah.
And they still exist.
Yeah, they've moved twice.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Milwaukee connections throughout this question.
Milwaukee connections, but it's not in Milwaukee. The Angels?
No, they never were anywhere else. I think they're expansion.
Anaheim. Now they're LA.
Oh, yeah, but this is okay. So in the 1940s, this team. It's so hard. So stupid.
I'm not very with it right
okay,
now.
okay, okay. All right. Okay.
Am I just stupid? I don't know.
No, you're not. It's a hard question, and I want to get as much out of it as I can, but I'm going too far. All right.
So they've been around for a while.
They've been around for a while.
Changed cities twice.
They used to be in Boston. They started in Boston.
Okay.
And then when they were in Boston, the Brewers were their AAA team. Okay?
Is it the LA Dodgers?
No.
Okay.
The Dodgers went straight from Brooklyn to LA.
Okay. Well, I thought maybe there was something before Brooklyn. I don't know.
So this was a team that was in Boston. The Red Sox became more popular because they're on the radio. So this other team didn't make enough money, so they moved somewhere.
So the Red Sox went to where? Well, they weren't called the Red Sox. Or they were called the Red Sox.
The Red Sox are not the answer.
I know that. It's a Boston team, but they weren't called the Red Sox.
Right.
They moved twice. And there's Milwaukee connections. I don't know what that means.
So County Stadium was built to lure them to Milwaukee.
The Mariners?
Okay, I'll make this as easy as I can. Who played at County Stadium?
Brewers?
After the original Brewers, who were the first major league team? Who were the first major league National League team to play at County Stadium?
What?
The Braves.
Oh,
the Boston Braves moved to Milwaukee and became the Milwaukee Braves, and then they moved to Atlanta and were playing them the night, and that's the connection. Those are all the connections.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry, I messed up that question.
No, it was fun. I got a lot out of it. I think it's more for them, and then I just get to say a lot of historical stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for them. No one's watching, but if they were,
Thank God.
thank God. I know. But okay, so that's the history. The Brewers played at a place called Borchardt Field, where the Cream Cities also played, and that was pretty big. But then they got a bunch of city money to build the biggest stadium in the minor leagues for the AAA Brewers. The reason they did that was because they knew Boston wanted to move, and they wanted to prove that they could. They wanted to build something for them to get them to go there, and they were already their minor league team. So Boston moved to Milwaukee and became the Milwaukee Braves. And then Milwaukee Braves moved to Atlanta, and Milwaukee was super pissed. They actually tried to sue them to make them stay. There was like a Supreme Court. Wisconsin judge ruled they had to stay, and then the U.S. Supreme Court overturned that.
Right, because like you can't tell a private business what to do, right?
But they also, you have to make them honor their contract, though, too.
Oh, there's a contract.
So, yeah, they said they would stay.
Yeah.
So.
Goddamn U.S. Supreme Court.
I know.
1950s.
But then, so they moved. So Bud County Stadium was open, and the Packers played there. Expo games there.
Yeah, that I knew.
Then
yes.
Bud Selig got
went to one, I believe.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah. And then Bud Selig got the Chicago White Sox to play Expo games there to prove that attendance would be high, and it was. And then, but it didn't. They still didn't give him the team. So then he bought the Brewers and moved them there, and named them the Brewers because they were the original occupants of that stadium. That's it.
Okay.
Bucks talk?
Yeah, before that, I would like to preview a possible topic for next week in terms of trivia.
Nice.
Maybe, I don't think we've ever talked about this on the show. We probably have. But we may not have talked about who Bernie the Brewer, the Brewers mascot.
Yes, that's good.
The real-life person that Bernie the Brewer is based on.
This person right here?
Yes.
Bernie?
It's based on a real human being.
Bernie jigs the long ball.
A hero.
A hero.
Single-handedly elevated the attendance of the Milwaukee Brewers.
And there's a Simpsons episode based on him.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. We'll talk about that next time.
Hungry Homer.
Talk about that next time.
Okay, on to the Bucks. Bucks, playoffs start.
Really the most exciting thing happening in Wisconsin right now. We're
100%.
not very excited about the Packers.
No.
Brewers are coming back down to earth.
Yes.
Looking like a 500 team.
Yes. Looking like a third place in the NL Central kind of team.
Yeah.
Looking like maybe a wild card squeaker kind of playoff if possible.
Yeah, but the Bucks about to start the playoffs. Big time. Big exciting time. The last 2 years, they've had huge expectations, higher expectations than they had this year, and they've totally bombed in the playoffs. So everyone is really – so in a way, we also have high expectations this year because we're like, well, we didn't have an incredible regular season like the last 2 years, but, you know, we want to prove everyone wrong. We want to be the underdog and win a championship.
Here's how it looks to me. Every season, the last 4, we've been contenders. We've been expected to be better than to get to the championship round. But the team keeps Middleton and Giannis and Lopez, and there's a couple other people who are there. Or Connington has been there quite a bit. And those guys get better. They improve their game, and then the defensive the schemes seem to get shrewder. And then Giannis, obviously nailed down threes and nailed down free throws. The team, and then they add a bunch of new people every year, and they seem to get a lot better, both in the core and in the bench. And they've done so good with worse teams. I feel like they're at least being smart about it. They're not just pissing it away. I don't know though. If they don't do it this year though, I'm gonna probably feel really different. Because it looks to me like they're losing more this season because they're trying more stuff to get ready for more different ways to play, different ways to win. And
I don't think
really
they're worse
like
this
that.
year than they were the last 2 years. I think that it's a different league this year. I think it's even harder to play defense this year.
Yes.
The main difference the last 2 years when the Bucks lost in the playoffs, during the regular season, the Bucks had the best defense, at least top 3 both those years, maybe even first place defensive rating.
It's still
and this
good,
year
though.
The defensive rating is not bad, but it's not that's
right.
The main difference, I think. But I think it's because I think it's getting harder and harder to play defense. I mean, whatever you say about the major leagues and pitching being dominant, you can say the same thing about offense being dominant.
Right.
In NBA.
Right. Yes.
So does it really matter what happens in the regular season? Can they clamp down on defense in the postseason? Because that's what Miami did to them last postseason.
Right.
Miami played hard on defense. The refs call less fouls, so you can be way more physical.
Because it's the playoffs, yeah.
And that's what happened, I think. And I think that this year, maybe hopefully the Bucks can do that to other teams like the Nets and the 76ers, hopefully. Hopefully they can beat both of them. Because it looks like right now, they're going to have to beat both the 76ers and the Nets.
Yeah, so let's
possibly the Heat consecutively in the playoffs. And that's tough 3 teams to do consecutively.
Yeah, let's break down the playoffs a little bit more. So right now, in the end of the regular season, we're playing the Heat again. We have to beat them in order to see them in the playoffs, right? Otherwise,
they play them tonight.
Right.
Yes. No, I don't have to beat them, or it depends. I think actually,
and the Heat has to lose.
Actually, I think it would help. Honestly, I think actually, the Bucks, if the Bucks lost to the Heat, then that I think would make it a better chance that the Bucks would not play them in the playoffs, and a greater chance they would play either the Knicks or the Hawks. Because the Knicks and the Hawks are, I think, a half a game ahead of the Heat. The Heat are in the 6th place, and the Knicks and the Hawks are in 5th and 4th place. Don't know which one is which, but yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, like if the Heat win and the Knicks win, and then the Heat are going to be playing the Bucks.
Yeah, it's kind of
we want to play the 7 seed. We want to surpass and get the 2 seed.
Of
is
course.
What we really want. That doesn't matter if we get the fucking 3 seed. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have a hard road no matter what.
You're saying Heat or Hawks both equally bad, equally tough,
or equally good,
or equally good.
I mean, there's
equally bad for us.
There's a very clear difference in quality between the 7 seed and whoever's going to be the 6 seed. So we want to be the 2nd seed so we can face the 7th
right,
seed.
But I don't think that's
who's also going to be more tired because they're going to have to do the play-in playoff game. The 7 through 10 seeds are going to do a play-in.
No, there's no question about that. It just seems more realistic. It's going to be the Hawks or the Heat, and I don't really know what that matchup.
I mean, it's looking right now like it'll be the Heat. If the playoffs started today, it would be the Heat.
Right. Yeah,
it's interesting that we play the Heat tonight.
I know.
And we lost in the playoffs to them last year.
Right.
So it'll be an interesting game tonight.
Right. But I haven't.
It'll be big for their confidence.
I mean, their team's gotten better since last year in terms of roster, right? The Heat, aren't they more formidable this year?
They're not. Yeah, well, they're not really different. They have the same players for the most part.
They're just playing better basketball.
Tyler Herro is worse this year. Well, I mean, the Heat are worse this year than they were last year. But they've been resurgent at the end.
That's kind of a fun narrative, the Herro thing. Because
because he's had some off-the-court antics, apparently.
He was going to be a Badger.
Yeah, and then he went to Kentucky instead. And
at the last minute.
Because he's from Wisconsin.
Right, so that's why they were booing him in the playoffs last year, and then he beat us.
Fucking just torched us. And this year, he was supposed to be, he's acting like, I was good in the playoffs, I'm a fucking superstar. Off the court, doing some crazy shit, going to clubs, doing crazy shit like that. I don't know the details.
I feel like you should read the room, read the national mood a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's awesome that you're good, and we all are happy you're playing because we want to watch sports, but like, it's not party too early, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they won the entire prize last year.
Right.
Tyler Herro, I think he's kind of a douche. And he's not been as good this year. And everyone's like, well, you're acting off the court like you're some king of the fucking South Beach.
Sure.
And you're not showing it on the court anymore.
Because he's
getting way less minutes. He's not even really like getting starter minutes right now.
Think about the mentality, though, of like the college boy, frat boy, going into fame and then success. Like, you're going to be a douche. So like, and
he does that little lip thing, like, little snarl.
Yeah, I don't. Fuck him. I don't care.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler, he's not known to be a super nice guy either. And then they had the guy who did the anti-Semitic thing on the video game. What do you call it? Twitch or something? Not Twitch.
Twitch is when people play video games.
Yeah. Okay. So Miles Leonard, he said the K word, the Jewish.
Really?
I'm Jewish, so I shouldn't say it. But you all know what I'm trying to say. Apparently, he claims he did not know that it was a derogatory term. And he plays in fucking Florida, where there's tons of Jews.
Why does he know the word but not know what it means?
Right. I don't know. He just heard someone say it or something, but didn't know what it meant. Well, anyway, so yeah, he's off the team now. They kicked his ass out. And they got rid of that other white big guy. What the hell? And he's been pretty good on another team. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Kalenic.
I remember him.
Not Kalenic.
Then I get out.
That's the guy, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, they got basically the same team, but they also got Trevor Ariza, I think, and they've got some players at the deadline. They can be a dangerous team. Is my point. Don't fucking.
For sure. No,
I don't want the Bucks to have to play them in the first round.
no. When I listen to like CBS Sports Radio or the national radio stuff, they're like the Heat could really they could be really,
which is exactly what they did last year.
Right.
They weren't that good during the regular season, but they were fucking baller in the playoffs.
Playoff ball is a whole different thing.
Exactly,
whole different season.
And I think the Bucks are going to probably be better than they were in the playoffs last year.
I think so too.
They're a tougher team. I feel like this year,
more veteran. They've certainly
they're more
been
physical.
there.
They're more tough. They know what it takes to get done in the playoffs. They're gonna have to fucking grit it out.
They have more strategies for more ways people can fuck with them.
Yeah,
and
they have
more weapons.
Yeah, and I think they have more ways to surprise the team.
Yeah, I think they're not. I think they're not showing a lot of stuff right now.
Right.
It feels like.
I think Budenholzer. He's not a super experienced coach, a playoff coach at least.
He's almost is now.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
getting there and losing.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting if the Brewers, if the fucking Bucks can beat the Heat, and then the Nets and then the Sixers and go to the championship. That would be impressive, and I almost expect them to do it. But it'd be much nicer if they could play the Celtics instead of the Heat. Because the Celtics had a big injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I kind of surprised they're playing in, but I'm kind of surprised they even got that far. Yeah, I have some stuff about the Astros, and I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Just about how it's kind of nice, though, that this season people get to boo the Astros, because that was taken away from all of baseball fandom last year. Yeah. And the Nationals got screwed. Twice screwed. They won, and then they didn't really get to have an awesome year about it. Then no celebration. People weren't that jazzed about a World Series. But like what
do you mean? That was 2019, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because the Dodgers won last year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I guess just I didn't care. Maybe it was just me. I didn't care.
Well, the Brewers lost to them in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
So at least the team that the Brewers lost to in 2019 went on.
Yeah, that's always nice
to win the championship. Yeah. So it's like we almost beat them. We should have won that game.
Yeah. But on that same subject, like they're really going hard on the Astros, and it's awesome. And like everyone's on board and like banging trash cans, throwing trash cans. But did you hear that they everyone else has talked about this, so I'm in no way acting like I'm breaking this. I'm just regurgitating what all the other better YouTube sports people have said. But Yankee Stadium, or the Astros filed a complaint with Major League Baseball about the fans at the Yankees games because they were being such dicks about it. Like showing up in giant Oscar the Grouch fucking can costume, or like dude with a can on his head right behind the dugout, just banging on it with fucking drumsticks before every like Altuve pitch.
Oh man, that actually makes me like Yankees fans better.
I know, me too. Yeah. And someone threw an inflatable garbage can onto the field at the end of the game.
Where do you even get an inflatable garbage can?
It was great. I don't know where they got the thing to start with, but it was a big inflatable gray cylinder that they drew with marker to make it look like a garbage can. They did a really good job because everybody got it right away. And the announcers were like holding back laughter. They were like, and that looks like that's a garbage can. And then so the ground crew went and got it. So then someone just threw a real fucking garbage can on the field full of stuff. And I don't know where they got that.
How do you get that?
There's no not nailed down garbage cans. How did they get that in? I don't know. It was like it's like a recycle bin. Maybe from a box seat. I could see like a suite. I could see a suite having
unscrewed a garbage can from the concrete.
It was too small for that.
Okay.
And my guess is
could have been from the concessions.
Could have been concessions. Yeah, totally did in the game.
Maybe they had an inside man.
Totally could have an inside person in concessions. Yo, can we get that garbage can like in the 9th? Like
yeah. But wait for the guy to throw the inflatable one first.
All they have to do is just leave it out, and then they lock up. End of the 7th, I'm walking away from my stand. Yeah, that or a suite for sure, because they would have it in like a box seat. A box suite. You could smuggle it down. But
they worked it out though.
It was filled with cans, so they pretty elaborate. So I'm guessing they just found it. But so then this dude, the Oscar the Grouch trash can guy, he showed up with his suit when he bought his ticket and was like, "Can I wear this in?" And they were like, "Yes." And then he went the next day after the trash can stuff.
The suit was a trash can.
He was dressed. It was like life size Oscar the Grouch in a trash can with his legs poking through.
Amazing.
And then he was banging on it with drumsticks.
Yeah,
it was great.
So it was a real garbage can. It was metal.
It was a real giant garbage can that he was inside of and walking around in.
I can't believe they let him do that.
They didn't. That's the problem, because then they didn't let him in because the Yankees complained in between when he bought the ticket and when it was because
who complained?
The Yankees players, the Yankees organization complained to not the Yankees, sorry, the Astros organization complained to Major League Baseball, who told the Yankees they needed to chill out. So then that dude wasn't allowed in, and he bought tickets. And then like everyone in the media like jumped to his defense. Like all the stations were like, no, now they're going to complain. Like fuck them. This is because Manfred said, well, the punishment will be in how they're treated by fans. Basically saying they're going to get hit by pitchers and they're going to get booed. Which is not a good.
The Yankees agreed to this. They didn't have to agree to not let him in.
I suppose so. Yeah.
It's not like Major League Baseball and Manfred had anything to do with it.
No, the Yankees should have held their ground.
Yeah. Well, who knows what was happening on the inside? You know.
I mean, they
could have been like, we're gonna hook you up with a sweet trade.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, it's such inside. That's inside baseball.
Yeah.
Like, but point is, fuck the Astros, and that shit's really funny to me. Because it's not like it's totally within the spirit of they really did something horrible, and it's not like I'm gonna kill not like a target. I'm gonna kill you. Like it's just like fuck you, you're a cheater. Like Altuve, it's funny. It will always be funny.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's what I was gonna say about the Astros. That I'm glad they're getting there. They're getting. It's almost like
everyone hates the Astros. It's so fun.
And I thought it might go away because no one was there to boo them. But it's just like everybody now is like doubling down on it.
Yeah,
which is very nice, and it's nice to get your hostility out from a bad year.
And it's still another reason to like Mike Fiers because he's the one that snitched him out.
But with the fucking monkey tail, though.
Yeah, terrible facial hair, but he's a good dude.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
integrity beats facial hair.
And that's why Verlander's kind of whack.
Why no integrity and regular facial hair?
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, we can talk more Brewers, but whatever.
Yeah, well, we're at 51 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Let's wrap it up.
We still have one viewer ourselves.
Yeah, we watched our whole show.
We did.
Yeah,
we did. We're the only ones that will.
Yeah. All right. If you want us to
do the song,
to drink your beer, email us. beltwaybabies@gmail.com. All the links are in the thing. Ask us stuff. Send us stuff.
Yeah. Give us some trivia.
Yeah, sure. Give us trivia. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be back next week, hopefully with better news. Bye.